everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be like a catch-up video day because obviously I am super behind on my videos. So sorry if you see the same outfit for the next however many videos this take, because I'm in a videoing mood or recording mood, and this is what's gonna happen. So for today, we're finally going to do my July wrap up for all the books I read. I had a pretty good month in July. Let's see, I read 12 books in July, and I don't think I have a single video review up for them yet. So those will be coming shortly as well, I hope. But so let's get started. Let's get started with my July wrap up. Like I was saying, I have 12 books. I read 12 books in July, and I think that's awesome. I mean, it helped that I wasn't working because I was on crutches and not on crutches. I was healing after knee surgery. But the first book that I read and finished was Sarah Dessen's Once and For All. I really enjoyed this book. It wasn't much different than the rest of hers, but she's one of my top favorite contemporary young adult authors, so of course I got it and I read it, and I still really enjoyed it. I would give it probably 4 stars, you know, maybe 3.5 to 4, just because it's not much different than the rest of her books. They all have the same love boy plotline, so they're not that different from everything. But that is Sarah Dessen's Once and For All. My next one I read was Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. I feel like I always say that wrong, and I'm so sorry. But this was a novella, and I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave this one 5 stars. Well, I'm gonna go 4.5 to 5 stars, just because I don't like the way it ended, but it is only one in a series of novellas by her. So I think I read that they get fleshed out a little bit more and you learn a little bit more about the main characters in here. But I'm not gonna do reviews on any of these books, just because I feel like this would be way too long. So I'm just gonna tell you what I read this month. But this was a science fiction. I got it from one of my Noir Reads boxes, and I really enjoyed it. The next one that I read was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I did not really enjoy it. It wasn't from all the drama and the trigger warning stuff people claimed the book had, and claimed the racist intentions from the book. I just didn't enjoy the book, which really made me sad because I really liked Divergent. But I gave it like 3 stars for Carve the Mark. The next was, I was on a roll with my fantasy books. I was on a roll, and I read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars for it. Sorry, dog wants to play while I record. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars for A Court of Thorns and Roses. I really enjoyed it, but there were a lot of things that I just didn't like as well. But still, 4 stars is really good. The next one, I had to keep going with the A Court of Thorns and Roses realm, and I read A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. That one I gave 5 stars. I really enjoyed that one a lot more than I loved A Court of Thorns and Roses. So if you don't like A Court of Thorns and Roses, I say at least give it to book 2. At least give it to book 2. And then, of course, I finished it off by reading A Court of Wings and Ruin, which I also gave 5 stars because I like the story just a lot better, and I like the series as a whole more than I like sometimes the individual books. So the series as a whole I really enjoyed. Now I started, Booktubeathon happened during July. So I started to read my books for Booktubeathon, which I think also helped me push to read more books in July. So the first one I finished was When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon, and I really loved that book. It only took me a day to finish it. It was adorable and cute, and it brought up a lot of good topics and a lot of things that I really enjoyed about the book. So I think I gave it 5 stars. I wanted to check out another Sarah J. Maas series. I think it was her first one, which was Throne of Glass. by Sarah J. Maas. I didn't really like this one. I mean, I liked that it had more action than A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I just didn't really like, I guess, the way it was written, even though I'm not a writer in any way, shape, or form. But it wasn't doing it for me. But I decided to, of course, give it more books when I was done with my my Booktubeathon books. So I went with another hype book, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and once again, I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it at all. So, but I always try and give at least 2 books in a series a chance. So I will get to the next one in the Grishaverse eventually. But I didn't really like it. It didn't grasp my attention like Court of Thorns and Roses did. Next up was The Selection. It was alright. Once again, it was alright. I finished it. It was cute. You know, same concept as any sort of game type book, you know, or last man standing wins type thing, or last woman standing in this sense. So still, I think once again like 3 stars for that one. The next one I read was Juniper Lemon's Happiness Index. I enjoyed it. It slowed down my reading just because like it wasn't a sit down and read this book all day. Like, I love this book, but I still enjoyed it, and I liked the concept of doing a happiness index. I think that's what kind of grasped my attention, and the overall growth the main character has to do in the book. So I think I'd still give it 4 out of 5 stars. But the last one I finished was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Once again, not one that just blew my mind away. Maybe it's just because a lot of the books I chose have been hype books on BookTube, and I want them to be absolutely phenomenal, and they aren't grasping my attention. But it is a series, so I will read the next book. So a lot of times the second book is better than the first one. So I will read the next one. It was all right for me. I like bits and pieces of it, but I didn't like the whole book. So we'll see how it goes. But those are the 12 books that I read. Like I said, I just wanted to be short and sweet and just let you know what I finished, what my quick thoughts about it, and I'll tell you more in the following videos of what I thought about each and every one of these books. So look out for those book reviews. Look out for my Booktubeathon wrap up as well. And I think that's it for me. Yeah, just look out. I already posted this on my blog, so make sure to check out my blog, because a lot of times I post on there before I get to posting on here. So make sure to check out my blog and follow me on Instagram, because you'll find more fun things. But until next time, keep turning the pages.